Hey guys, I'm Phil Town from Rule 1 Investing. We're going to dive today into the three major ways of valuing a business that we use. We call them the 10 cap methodology, payback time, and the margin of safety analysis. So we'll get into those in detail right now. All right, so let's start with payback time. Payback time comes from some work I did as a private investor buying private companies. And when you buy private companies, you find that they're not liquid. In other words, liquid means I can't just sell them immediately the next day like I could a public stock. And so when you buy them, you have to be sure that you're paying a really good price. You're getting a really good deal because you're going to get stuck with that company for a long, long time. So when we look at buying companies that are private, we get them for a lot cheaper price than we would ever hope to pay for a public company normally. That private company price is typically around 7 to 8 times the earnings of that business. Now, these are not itty bitty teeny businesses. They go for cheaper. These are good businesses with growth rates and so on. So 7 to 8 times their earnings, all right? Now, 7 to 8 times their earnings turns out to be about half of what you pay for a public company, which historically go for about 16 times earnings. So when we buy a private company and we get it for 7 to 8 times earnings, we want to think, I'm going to get a deal that's good enough that the earnings of the company and the cash flow of the company will pay me back all of the money I put into this in 7 to 8 years. So that's where that number comes from. And that's where the idea, the concept of payback time comes. So one of the things that's really cool about looking at valuation based on the payback time that it'll take for you to get your money back is that in a really volatile world like we're in right now, some deals are going to happen. You're going to have an opportunity to buy great companies with a very short payback time. The last time we had a lot of volatility years ago, 2008, you guys remember that? Apple Computer went on sale like crazy. You could buy that thing for a 6-year payback time. In other words, the cash flow from Apple, if you own the entire company, would give you your money back in 6 years. And think about how great that is. I mean, can you imagine if you could go out and buy a house in your neighborhood and somehow the rent coming off of that house would pay for the house in 6 years? That's how good that is. It's astonishingly good. And in this marketplace that we see coming along in the next year or so, I would imagine you're going to see a bunch of these happen. Yeah, so one of the things that we think about is it's scary to invest in that kind of a market where it's volatile, prices are going down or prices are going up quickly. And the cool thing about payback time is that it gives you so much confidence because you're buying this thing as if it's a private business that the only way you'll see your return on your investment is just the cash flow coming off of it. And the cash flow coming off of this business could be in the form of dividends, buybacks of stock, all result in you getting your money back very, very quickly. And that kind of protection is really, really help you feel confident in a market that's really could be crazy. All right, I'm going right into the next valuation, which is the 10 cap. Now this one, I got to tell you, it's kind of my favorite. It requires less work, less guessing than the other two methods of valuation. The 10 cap comes to us from real estate investing. I already mentioned something about that in payback time, but real estate investing has a concept of capitalization rate, which is essentially acting as if you were going to buy this house for 100% all cash, and then the rent net all of the expenses, right? You got to pay for the garbage to get picked up and the lawn to get mowed and have a maintenance fund and pay the taxes. So you take off all of that from the rent that you're getting, and what's left is what you earn as an owner. So we just call that owner earnings. That's the money that goes in your pocket every month renting out that house. Well, if you could buy that house for, let's say, 10 times the annual rent, then it would have a 10 capitalization rate. That kind of makes sense? In other words, you're getting, let's say, $20,000 in owner earnings, and you paid $200,000 for the house. That means every year you're receiving $20,000 divided by $200,000, which equals 10%. A 10% yield on your $200,000 is huge, you guys. Where are you going to go get that? Like right now, you want to put your money away for 30 years with a US bond, you can get 4%. In other words, you put $200,000 away, they're paying you $8,000 a year, not $20,000 a year. So a 10 capitalization rate is enormous. In fact, any of you who are real estate investors know right now, that's almost impossible to find in the real estate world. But in stock investing, you guys, that comes up all the time. I bought Apple Computer with an 11% cap rate, which would have been an 11 cap, not a 10 cap. So we love to target a 10 cap rate. So the 10 cap formula is just that. You take the owner earnings of the company and you multiply it by 10. And that gets you the 10 cap rate that you should pay for that company. Now, the coolest thing about this is that to figure out that you want to buy that company, that it's on sale, you don't need to know how fast is it going to grow in the future. All you need to know, the only thing you need to know, is that it's a wonderful business and it's going to be bigger down the road. That's it. The rest of that whole formulation that we use in payback time, that we use in margin of safety, we don't need that in the 10 cap view of the world's valuation. So this is a really, really easy way to look at a value of a business. And if you can find great businesses, and they're out there all the time, at a 10 cap, and you understand that business, it's a great business, great, go buy it. Very briefly, margin of safety means to find the intrinsic value of the company, what it's really worth as a company, and then buying it for 50% off. Now, the way that happens in the real world is that there'll be some kind of event. Something will cause fear around this company, and the market will sell it off. And when it does, I gotta tell you, from 40 years of doing this, the mistakes that I've made have inevitably been around margin of safety. And that's because you're not always going to know everything about the future, and you just can't. And as Charlie Munger says, the vicissitudes of life will definitely come into investing. And therefore, you must have a margin of safety. And I don't know, a lot of people know this, but they've decided, Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger decided that what they needed was the ability or the requirement to buy a company at a private company price, even though it's a public company. And what that resulted in was essentially buying companies that are public for 50% below their intrinsic value. And that 50% margin of safety, that is the three most important words of investing: margin of safety. And a 50% discount will protect you from the ups and downs that are going to happen out there in the real world. Insist on a margin of safety, and I think you'll be happy with the results. So how do you decide when to use these things? You know, each of them are very different. Well, the first thing we do is we run all three of them every single time. And so you're going to find that with a lot of companies, particularly with companies in the growth rates of, let's say, 10, 15, 20% in that range, these valuations are going to come out pretty similarly, particularly because we don't really think a company is wonderful unless it's got pretty good cash flow, and both payback time and the 10 cap are based on cash flow as opposed to earnings. But they'll all come out in the ballpark. And when they do, what I tend to do is just add them up and divide by 3. It's that much of a kind of a windage view of the purchase price of this company. Now, that doesn't happen every time, particularly when the growth rates are low. 5% growth, 8% growth, and you have a low PE ratio, your margin of safety valuation is going to probably be a lot lower than the 10 cap and the payback time. In that case, we don't just add them all together. We try to understand that if there's two of them that are hitting roughly the same level of margin of safety or purchase price, then we're going to kind of tend to go with that. So when we don't get it, when one of these is way out of line with the other two, then we tend to focus on the other two. So sometimes the 10 cap will be way low or way high, and the other two are where we'll focus in. So sort of 2 out of 3 wins. But occasionally all 3 of them are all over the map. In that case, what I tend to do is consider that a red flag. it makes it very difficult for me to know what to pay for this company. And I start really questioning, why are these turning out so differently from each other? And I find most of the time when I go back and really dig in, it's because I really didn't understand the business as well as I thought I should. So then I got to do more homework or put it in the too hard pile. So the information you need to figure out the valuation can be pretty scary. And this is one of the reasons people don't invest, is they are looking at a big pile of numbers and don't have a lot of confidence they can understand what these numbers really mean. So what we've done in Rule 1 investing is narrow down these numbers to a very small number of things that we have to know. And when you learn what those are, you'll find that all you have to do is look them up. We have a toolbox, of course, which you can take a look at, and the numbers are presented to you right there, the critical numbers. But once you know what they are, which you can find from reading any of our books, looking at a podcast, the information's out there, you really can just get access to these numbers anywhere. So I got to encourage you to say that when you learn the small number of things you have to know in order to figure out these valuations, you won't think it's a big deal.